Good morning, everybody, and thank you for coming to the Today's Restaurant News networking meeting, 9 a.m. Thank you all for coming. And we are a group of restaurant vendors who are here to help each other grow our businesses and also to serve as your consultants if you own a restaurant. If you're an owner, a manager, or a chef, if you have a question that you'd like to ask us, we've got hundreds of years of experience amongst all of us. Steve's got 97 of it by himself. And if you have any questions, feel free to give us a call at 561-620-8888. Or if you'd like to come to one of our meetings, you can go on our website at trnusa.com and fill out the little form for restaurants, and you'll be able to come to the meeting and give us a look at our YouTube page where we post all these videos and some other videos as well, and that is at Today's Restaurant. So here we are in the middle of, towards the end of July. August is fast approaching, and we are heading towards show season. First show being this year, September 18th, at the Miami Beach Convention Center, the America's Food and Beverage Show. And then in November, we've got the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Show, which is this year is in partnership with the Pizza Tomorrow Summit. I think that's going to be a permanent arrangement. So is anybody here besides me going to be attending the show or have a booth at any of the shows? Ed, which show are you going to be at?
The Florida Restaurant Show.
Okay. You have a
Brian
booth?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great. If any of you are planning to come to either one of those two shows, we have a booth at both, so you can always use us as a home base. Joe, you're not coming?
I keep thinking of, I've never tried that one in Miami. Is it local business, Miami business?
No, the one in Miami is what they call the America's Food and Beverage Show, which means that they're from all over Central and South America, Europe, the Orient. They're from pretty much all over the world.
Yeah, probably very little Miami, South Florida businesses. Yeah, I know the Florida.
They're trying to put in, the reason that I got involved with them this year is they're trying to put in a restaurant section.
Okay.
And they're trying to get people to come and see the show. And I told them that their success this year will probably be somewhat limited in that area because a lot of people who do know about it now from what they're doing and what I'm doing and the people are talking about, people will come this year to look at it and see what kind of a show it is and then make a decision for next year. And they've been doing this show for 20, 30 years.
Yeah, I'd like to. I've always thought about that one because it's local. The Florida Restaurant Show, I haven't had a booth there in probably 5-6 years at least, and probably 2018 or longer than that, 16, 17, whatever. But I used to go every year. I probably should look at it again. Well, I'll probably go up there to see it and maybe hang out at your booth. What is it? So like $2,500 to get a booth there? Yeah, I think it was in that range there. If I get any of my vendors to co-op it, Clover, I don't think will be. And maybe there, maybe some of the dealers, but probably Pfizer will be there. But Adelo.
Heartland is already there. Heartland's got a big booth.
Yeah, Heartland is.
Oh, they always do, yeah.
Yeah, Heartland is very big in restaurants, and they still are, right? But if I can piggyback off any of my vendors' booths and split the cost with them or co-op it, that's the way to go. But
Joe, if you're going to be there, we can get you tickets. Come the Seacoast Sales booth because Brian will be there, and you can wander around all day through the shows.
Okay, cool. Cool. Oh, I was gonna call you. I got an email from one of these consulting companies. You know, they pay you $300 or $200 or an Amazon gift card to do an online survey consulting for them. I'll see if I can find it, send it to you. On the
Okay.
frozen dessert market. There's an email on the frozen dessert market. I don't know.
Okay.
I
Hey,
don't know.
hey, Howard, I sent you a note yesterday about YouTube. Is that a possibility of setting up your YouTube station at the Florida Restaurant Show?
Well, you mean to go live from the show?
Yeah, or partially live.
Well,
Recorded content, I guess you mean, right?
you can take a video at the show and then post it on the YouTube,
That's, I think.
or you
No,
can
I
go
think-
you can go live on Facebook.
I think maybe what Dennis, like what Dennis just said, like where you could open it up and people can watch the YouTube,
Yeah.
like these meetings. Is that what you meant?
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's possible. I've never done it. Steve probably knows how to do it.
Well, I'm
No,
just,
all you do is open your laptop and go on your YouTube channel.
No,
and then
no, you
people
gotta
can
connect.
watch.
You gotta connect live. It's like Facebook.
Right.
It's like Facebook where
Right.
you
Yes, it is. You got to connect live. You can do it through Zoom. It's easy. All you do is
yeah, I have to learn how to do it with Zoom. That would because
Howard, I was just thinking of, because you've got the YouTube channels there. You've got your booth, our booth, and God knows who else is part of our groups that are going to be down there. You may have 3 or 4 different places that someone can go back and forth from, or
Right.
2.
right.
Absolutely.
thought-
That's
I
a
don't know if
great
I'm-
idea.
Yeah.
That is a great idea.
Yeah. As soon as I figure out how to work the technology, I certainly would do that.
well, we can play with it together. So if you want, we can meet you one day.
Yes, Steve, that would be great.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a great idea. Absolutely.
You can try.
Yeah, we got to stay up with the technology. Actually, Darren from the other group, he's very technically oriented, and I'm sure he'll know how to do it easily. I'm sure he'll volunteer to do
Well,
it.
Steve does also. Steve is
Of course,
Steve's right there with him.
they're my go-to guys. Steve's got one up on Darren. Steve's my go-to deli guy.
True.
Anyhow,
Although the breakfasts aren't bad either. Not quite as good as the deli, but the breakfasts are pretty decent.
Aw.
Relatively cheap.
Well, we get our building tented, so they're bringing all the stuff today. I gotta finish up. I haven't stopped.
You guys actually have termites? Or are they doing it?
Everyone does. Yeah, everyone does. This whole area. So they've been termiting building after building, and there's a lot of prep work to do, especially, in an office, you got all kinds of stuff. But yeah, it's everybody. Yep, termites.
So where you
unless you're
moving
putting
to?
the termites on the menu for a restaurant meeting,
Ew.
off the table. Anyway, let's get into our intros. Do that quickly, and then I have a topic I want to discuss other than the shows. If we're all finished with the show stuff, all right. So, Dennis, why don't you start us off? Tell us who you are, what you do, and how we can contact you.
Well, good morning, everybody. Second time around. I enjoyed meeting you all the last time around, so I'm back for a reprise. My name is Dennis Feldman, senior commercial real estate associate with Coldwell Banker. I've been doing this for too long, and will continue to do it, probably going into my 40th year. Commercial real estate is my specialty, and I collaborate with Steve at Anchor on real estate strategies and business transactions as well. The commercial real estate market in Florida, it continues to be robust. The Fed just upped their key interest rate by 25 basis points, makes it much more expensive to afford to carry commercial real estate owned properties or acquire commercial real estate properties to own. Interest rates right now have more than doubled. They're probably going to be around 7.5% within the next couple of days, maybe between 7.5 and 7.75 within the next 30 days. And looks like the Fed has probably got at least one more upward ratchet of another 25 basis points, probably September, October. We're not out of the woods by a long shot in terms of the cost of money being so high. And that's a problem when you look at commercial real estate, because valuations of commercial properties, especially smaller ones that are ideal for business owners to acquire, have not dropped in value over the past 2 or 3 years. In fact, they've remained at historically high levels. So, when you're trying to acquire a piece of commercial real estate and the interest rates are 7.75%, 7.5%, and the debt ratios are 80% to 20% cash, makes it very, very costly. It's going to put a lot of pressure on the market. We're starting to see a little bit of adjustments in valuations. I specialize in a lot of office condominiums in the Boca, Delray, Boynton region, and all the way down to Broward County. Also doing a lot of work right now on some warehouse distribution acquisitions for clients. And mostly I represent business owners or tenants looking to acquire, as opposed to landlords or developers looking to dispose or lease. I'm at matrixguy3113@gmail.com. And I look forward to getting to know you guys, because I'm sure there's value in what you can offer to me. And I know what I can provide for you is significantly valuable as well. And it's going to take time, but I'm in it for the long term, as you probably can guess. So thanks a lot for having me, and I look forward to participating.
Okay, thank you. Brian, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Brian with the Rogue Financial Group. We are a commercial equipment financing company. I primarily focus on the hospitality side, but I also work on the convenience store side. Also, I do some breweries, food trucks, things like that. And like I said, I primarily focus on the hospitality side. But what we as far as Rogue, we do commercial equipment financing. I do a lot of work with startups. There seems to be a trend of startups. And I do work all over the country. And again, it's Brian with Rogue Financial Group. It's 404-723-7222. Thanks.
Do you practice that?
No, I'm tired.
No, it's cute. It's cute. You do it every week, but it gets a little more theatrical as you go.
Oh, thanks.
He's an understudy for Chris.
I went to Top Golf last night for my birthday. So
Oh, happy birthday.
thank you.
Happy birthday.
Birthday.
I'm 2 years away from 60.
No.
I have shoes older than you.
You're in them.
Steve, good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Steve Whitehill with Anchor Business Brokers. I help people buy and sell businesses, and normally I prepare to tell you about a listing, but it's always amazes me how much money you can make, and you don't have to put much money down. Typically, in this day and age, you can put down 10%. And let's talk about what that means. So a business that sells for $1 million, you'd only have to put in 100,000. And that business is probably earning you something around 300,000, 350,000. So that's you can make it's a tremendous rate of return, not to mention a lot of money in your pocket. So there are lots of opportunities, both in the restaurant industry, the equipment industry, restaurant equipment industry, as well as many, many, many other types of businesses. Steve Whitehill, Anchor Business Brokers. You can reach me at 561-376-7500, or you can email me at Steve, STEVE, at anchorbb.com. That's ANCHOR, B as in boy, B as in boy.com. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Tracy, good morning.
Morning, thank you. I am Tracy Puma. I am the Chief Operating Officer of Skyline Analytics. We are a full-service operational finance consulting firm and provide fully customized business intelligence solutions that enhance visibility into a company's financial data and that increase profitability through smarter data-driven decision-making. More specifically, we specialize in data analytics, FP&A consulting, data integration, and process automation. We are industry agnostic and service clients in many industries, but we do have quite a large vertical in the restaurant and hospitality space. So thanks for having us. I can be reached on my cell at 561-512-1933.
If you'd like to schedule yourself to do a presentation, more in-depth presentation to the group, I think that would be advisable. Let me know when you can do it.
Sure. After the kids go back to school.
Yeah.
And you can do a share screen as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, because I really want to know what you do for a restaurant, and a restaurant chain. That is I want to get a handle on that so that I can help you outside of the group, like I do everybody else.
I appreciate that.
So, speaking about getting a grip on it, how about Joe Cregan?
Good morning, everyone. Joe Cregan with Card Payment Services here in just west of Fort Lauderdale Airport, downtown Davie. We support about 700 clients, mostly here in Florida, but nationally, and probably 50-60% of them at least are restaurants with their point of sale and payment processing requirements. And a few of them also use, we are a reseller for ADP payroll as well. So we resell Clover and Adelo POS, which are very, very popular in the restaurant and retail market. We sell Fiserv, which is formerly First Data Payment Processing, which is the largest transaction processor in the industry. And we also represent ADP Payroll, which obviously is the largest payroll processor in the industry. So our goal is to provide the hardware and the software for the restaurants to process their payments, their orders, and all that, and earn recurring income off their transaction processing and payroll processing. That's it. Joe Cregan, Card Payment Services with downtown Davie, 954-635-5044 or www.cardpaymentservices.net.
Okay, thank you. Ed, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. This is Ed Gerton with Seacoast Sales out of Orange Park, Florida, which is just west of Jacksonville, Florida. We're an equipment supply company that specializes in frozen dessert equipment. So we represent Carpigiani, which would be batch freezers and soft serve machines. And Carpigiani now is coming out strong with soft serve machines that have to be cleaned every 42 days as opposed to the normal 3 days. And they've gone through all the regulatory requirements so that it meets the FDA requirements in this country. They're also looking at right now for 48 days and 96-day cleaning cycles.
Wow.
So I know McDonald's has already got 42 days out there, and they're looking at developing a 96-day cleaning cycle machine. So what that does is, like, for the 42-day cleaning, it'll save an owner operator, if they pay their employees $15 an hour, about $3,500 a year per machine. That is an awful lot of money, and they don't have to worry about loss of equipment, loss of parts, loss of soft serve food, if I could say it that way. So anyway, it's an up and coming. The equipment's a little bit pricey, but normally it'll pay itself back within a year and a half, which is really good return on investment. We also carry ISA display cases for ice cream, gelato, and soft and pastry, and BGI, which would be continuous churning ice cream machines. Anyway, 904-334-4489. Ed Gerton with Seacoast Sales in Orange Park, Florida.
Okay, thank you. I forgot to mention before, I want to thank you and Steve and Brian for your ads and email blast. Ed, I sent yours out this week for the redo, and I posted your ad on a ice cream group on LinkedIn with about 10,000 members from all over the world. So I don't know if anything will come of it, but it's good to keep
Okay.
doing that.
I saw that on LinkedIn. Thank you.
Okay. Terry, TRN Terry, good morning.
Good morning. I can't do Brian, but anyways, good morning, everyone. Terry Appel, today's restaurant news. My specialty is finding and locating and putting information out once a month on new and upcoming food establishments. I always say restaurants, but that includes anything food related that has a commercial kitchen, a bar, a nightclub, a hotel. Some of the hotels, no, because they're in with their own, like the big Hiltons and all of that. I usually don't add those, but the team collects these leads for us. And Brian, thank you for yours this morning. And we put them together on a spreadsheet in an Excel format, which you can change around any way you'd like. And that gives you the owner's names, the phone numbers, the email addresses, addresses. Then there's a nice little column that seems to be of interest. It's it's 10,000 square feet divided into 3 parts. You're going to have a, cooking kitchen. There's an open bar, patio. Anybody that sells any of those products that those people might need. It's not just a restaurant. It's huge. Maybe it's a themed restaurant like the Jaws restaurant that opened up in Ocala. I don't think that's a big deal, but it looks like a big deal on the internet. So, you got to make your thing stand out. They got to pop. So these leads reports, we try and give you the most important information about when they're going to open, and some are years out. They're just breaking ground on major retail development centers, which I'm actually now signed up to get. So a lot more information, a lot more typing, a lot more of everything. But anybody that wants a sample report, you can email me, Terry, with an I, at trnusa.com, and I'll send you a report sample. Thank you.
Thank you. And Chris, good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Chris Kaufman, restaurantallstars.com. We specialize in placing restaurant chefs and restaurant operations managers throughout the Southeast United States. Recently picked up a client company that they would like to get a banquet chef, a high volume banquet chef, because they are producing, well, they have a contract right now with a couple of the airlines out of Atlanta, and they are producing 19,000 meals per day. So that therefore requires them to get a person with high volume banquet type of background, because a banquet chef would basically take the banquet order form and produce the food and go from there. It's not an R&D. We do have another position, an R&D chef, where they want a person to develop menus and recipes and things along those lines. But in the operational area, always a demand for restaurant operations people, because we've been recruiting restaurant operations people since Monday, April 6, 1981. And we are committed to keep doing it till we get it right. So Chris Kaufman, restaurantallstars.com. And you can reach us at 404 All-Star, 404-255-7827. And Brian, I'm happy for your birthday. You're only 2 years away from 60. Well, I'm only 12 years away from 60, and I feel great.
Which side, Chris?
The north side. So, anyway.
Terry, when Chris said a banquet chef, were you thinking Laurent?
I don't think LaRon is a high enough chef that could produce that kind of volume. He's
No.
very intricate with his meals, and he's very no, but I know somebody that might know somebody.
Okay.
Remember David?
Steve is going.
Okay.
David,
Bye,
who?
Steve.
Good luck, Steve.
Yes, good
We're all
luck.
counting on you, Steve.
Who's? All right, never mind. Did I miss anybody? No? Okay. Well, I'm Howard Appel. I'm the founder and publisher of Today's Restaurant News since 1996. So that puts me on the north side of 60 also. Uh,
By a lot. Sorry.
We are, you threw me off.
I couldn't resist.
And we, at Today's Restaurant News, we offer advertising in our newspaper, email blast programs, video e-blast programs, the Restaurant Leads Report, and of course, our networking groups. So if you'd like to reach us, please give us a call at 561-620-8888. I have to mention, I don't know, we have been getting over the past, well, first 4 to 6, 7 weeks, getting tremendous traffic on our website. For us, when I say we're talking 2, 3, 4,000 hits a day, which is huge for a company like ours. We're not the New York Times. We're a very specific market, a very narrow market. So we changed up a couple of things, worked on the SEO, and got lucky a couple of times, I guess. But so I just want to mention that to you. And again, I want to thank Ed for your support, and Brian and Steve. And we welcome everybody else to do the same. Chris, I said, did you ever get the ad I sent you?
I did.
You did?
Well, I mean, we talked about it after the meeting last week.
Okay.
You were there. You were
I don't
there.
remember. I'm old. I'm north of
We
60.
talked.
I don't remember.
It's sad when old people drink in the morning.
now I remember.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll be following up with you in the next 7 to 14 days.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to play my David Letterman role again, but because I don't have the staff that David Letterman had, he was able to offer a top 10 list. I can only do a top 6.
Okay.
So,
But the difference is your writers are not on strike.
yeah,
So
right.
you could
Yeah.
I take what I can get.
His writers
That's
are
right.
on overtime.
By the way, I spent the day with David Letterman in my former life when I had my business in New York on the Bowery. He came in to do a segment at a store 2 doors down from me, and he used my place as a home base because it was cold. It was the wintertime. He didn't want to stand out in the street on the Bowery, so he came in, and he was a heck of a nice guy. Some people can be real, he's funny and a nice guy. And
Well, I used to write for Letterman. I used to write for Leno. They never wrote back.
Okay, Chris.
well, since we're all in business, and since we're all basically, we're all salespeople. No matter what we do, we're still in sales, and I know we have come across customers that are a pain in the butt, and some of them get to a point where they become irate, and we have to handle them. I know Brian gets this every day. So this is an article that I read and it lists some things that you can do to deal or handle an irate customer. And I'll just list them and then we could talk about them. So the first thing would be is to let the customer tell their story. So the heading on that is to listen. So you understand what their problem is. And number two is to put yourself in the customer's place so that you develop an empathy for their situation. And the third one is to ask questions. Basically, to get the information as to what happened, why it happened, and what you could do to help. And the fourth one is suggest alternatives. Like go to somebody else with, it's just trying to get into the problem-solving process. And number 5 is apologize. If a waitress or a waiter delivers the wrong meal to one person in the party and that customer becomes irate, you should, as a manager, should be over there to apologize and try to straighten it out. And of course, the last one is solve the problem. So if at all possible, you can solve the problem. If, in a restaurant, it's not simple, but there are ways to do it by offering a drink or dessert or a free meal the second time. So that's the topic. If you have any suggestions or want to get into it any deeper, any suggestions on how to handle an irate customer? Have you had one recently? And what did you do to help them? Or help yourself, actually? It's uncomfortable for us to go through it. It's okay when somebody complains if they've got a legitimate complaint. But if somebody is really just trying to be a pain in the butt and be nasty about it, it's tough for us to go through it. Any thoughts, Ed?
I got one that just happened to me yesterday at 5:30, at 5:29 last night. I get a phone call saying the doctor I'm supposed to see this morning is not available. It'll be rescheduled with a nurse practitioner at a later time. Call us. So I called back and I got their answering service. They couldn't help me. So I said, well, there's no meeting at 8 o'clock this morning. At 8:16, I get a phone call from their office saying, where are you? You missed your appointment. So I had to tell her what is going on. I got a phone call at 8:20, 8:30 or 5:30 last night, canceling the appointment. Oh, well, it's not noted in the notes. I said, well, I don't know about your notes, but you got a problem in your office. And she hung up on me.
Oh,
That's not good customer service.
and
That's
you're
the last
going
thing you
back?
do.
I'd go back and talk to the doctor.
Good luck
It's
getting
a
him on the
big
phone.
Like 15 doctors. I don't care. I'll find somebody else
It was probably his
Right.
wife.
or his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, Terry and I had a situation. I mean, I don't think I was irate, but I was starting to boil. We went to a restaurant and they refused to seat us. Not because of who we were or anything like that. They didn't have staff.
Mhm.
And they told us we had to wait a half hour before we could get served. And this is at 5:30 on a Wednesday night in a sports bar. And I just thought that was totally outrageous and stupid. And the manager or the chef should have come out of the kitchen and helped us, and they didn't. So we put up not a fuss, but we gave them a little bit of pushback, and they finally sat us.
That wasn't Burton's, was it? Up in that Boca, Buitons, over by Lynn University there.
No,
No.
no.
I'm not going to say who it is.
We had
No, I told the guy, I said, look, you want to lose a customer over this? I said, we can sit right there and wait. Give us some water. So he did. He sat us down, gave us a glass of water, some ice water, and we waited.
And the worst part about it is a week or two later, we went back with a party of 8 people that came in from out of town who were staying with us. Went there with a party of 8, and they gave us the same treatment. So I said, okay. I took my group and we marched out the door and went somewhere else. And now you lose a party of 8.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money.
Well, you've got some rookie up there, telling, well, we can't really see you. They don't want to bother, or they really don't have the staff, which is a major problem.
Well, I mean, this Burton we went to, we had an event. My daughter works at Lynn University, and her daughter had a little dance recital, so my granddaughter. So after that, we went to Burton, which is almost right across the street. And
Sure.
University there, which is Boo Rappaport, Dennis
Bert
Max.
Rappaport.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know him.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's practically empty.
Yeah.
It was practically empty. There were people sitting.
Holy cow.
It's always empty, and we said, and they basically the excuse was, we don't have a server working all those empty stations. But so we had to wait a half hour to do it. I don't think if Bert Rappaport was sitting there, he would have liked that.
No, exactly.
No.
I was just going to say that, a guy like that, or a chain operation, the management, upper management, don't really know what's going on at that moment.
Well,
So that's one of the
you-
things we do at Skyline is we help restaurants optimize their labor so that they only staff the restaurant at times when they're predicted to be busy, as opposed to having 12 people standing around doing nothing in times that we know aren't going to be busy for them, based on historical data.
but they didn't even have
That's
people
good. That's
sitting around doing anything. They didn't have people. But Joe Girard wrote a book, How to Sell Anybody Anything, and he had sold 13,000 automobiles in 1 year, which is an unbelievable record in America. And this goes back to the 70s and maybe 80s. In any case, and he got into the automobile sales business with no sales background, no automobile background, but a good people background. And he called every funeral home in the area of the automobile agency, and he said, what's the average number of people that come to a funeral? And they said about 250. Then he called the wedding halls in the area. What's the average number of people that come to a wedding? About 250. So he realized everybody that came through the showroom door was worth 250 people.
Hey,
Right.
And when you look at the party of 8, it's really 8 times 250.
You're absolutely right.
right, yeah.
That's what I always say about our networking groups. You're not speaking to Chris. You're speaking to the people that Chris knows.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always the people behind us.
Mhm. Talking about customers. Okay, this was April. Did a financing on a food truck for a vendor of mine. I told the vendor not to let the client leave the lot without an inspection from the bank to make sure that everything is fine. The vendor lets the truck go. All right, so we have the title. Title's not correct, so they had to correct that. So I had to drive in like 45 minutes to get the correct title. So the guy takes it back to Ohio. He has the paperwork. He's supposed to put the tag. He's supposed to apply for the tag in the business. He takes it and puts it in his personal name, which you can't do because it's a title vehicle. It's part of a business, right? So we went around. I've been going around with the guy, and he blew up on me, and he says, you know what? I'm just going to take it back to the bank. I'm going to just drop it off at the bank. I said, fine, whatever you want to do. So I let it go. Because him and his wife just were unreasonable. All he had to do was to go back down to the tag office and flip it back to the name of the business. There wasn't go when there was no going to be no cost, so he didn't do it. So now the bank is going to charge him an extra $100 a month till he does changing the tag back. So I haven't talked to him, but you talk about customers that are unreasonable. I was like, he wouldn't understand. He didn't want a reason. The reason you had to put the tag in the business, not in your personal name. And he did it in his name, and the loan was in his wife's name. So, but it's like, I mean, you try to help people out, and like Howard says, I get some real doozies at times, and it's like, you're just trying to explain to them how the procedure is. One, you shouldn't have left the vendor shouldn't let the guy take off with the trailer, okay, and the food trailer. But so I just said, you know what, I haven't got my commission yet. It's whatever. It's not much, but I felt like I'm not going to deal with it. If he calls me and starts yelling at me again, that's fine. But it was just, I tried to explain to him and his wife, and it's just like outrageous.
There were some people, no matter what you do, they won't be
Yeah.
satisfied. So, and if you've done all of these 6 items and tried to help them, and they're still that way, then sometimes as a salesperson, your best move is to walk away.
That's what I did. So if they call me, I'm gonna say, hey, here's the contact of the bank. Just call them. I'm done. I don't need to be treated that way. I did them as a gift to get them financed. Their credit wasn't real strong, and I got them financed. And I'm just like, whatever. Yeah. So, but yeah, I know we all go through it. Always have clients, and and then you try to do the right thing for them, and just yeah. So I'm waiting for that call to come. Why are you charging me an extra $100 a month?
I don't know
Hurts him
if
for
you
asset protection purposes. If he's in an accident, they'll go after his personal assets.
I'm sorry?
That hurts him for asset protection purposes too. If he's in an accident, they'll go after his personal assets since the vehicle's registered as personal name.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys have experienced this, and this is maybe another topic, but there are sometimes when you're making sales, like, for example, let's say Ed's putting together an ice cream store, and everything goes beautifully. It goes smoothly. And then you get another customer, and Ed does the same thing, over and over again, because he's done it for years. He knows what he's doing. He knows his equipment, and he does everything the way it's supposed to, and nothing works. The delivery time gets messed up. The doorway is too small. The equipment, the electricity is wrong. Nothing that he did. It's just that there are aspects of the job, no matter, and the people are probably very nice, but everything goes wrong. And right, Ed?
It happens. It happens. Not in the ice cream business is one thing, but when I used to be in charge of a steel fabricating facility or a company called Buffalo Tank, we did plate fabrication all over the country, and we had sales territories. And particularly a salesman would cover, say, the Atlanta area, or someone else was Jacksonville, Savannah, and then someone in Louisiana covered the Panhandle of Florida, whatever. And we found out that there were certain customers who had issues with certain salesmen or salespeople. So we would swap them. So we would take the person from Florida and have him go to Atlanta to cover one account. And it turns out about 80% of the time, it worked out that way to the benefit of the company. Why? I can't tell you. Either the salesman and the customer, he got a hair up their ass the wrong way that day or what, I don't know. But it worked out, not all the time, but vast majority of the time. So Howard, it's unpredictable as to what's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
You can do it right and it can still blow up.
Yep. Well, I guess we've come to the end of our allotted time.
Now it's time to say
Okay, so
goodbye
just
to our
remember
family.
August 18th is the meeting at 10 o'clock. I'll send you information on it. Everybody have a great weekend. Stay safe, and we'll see you next week. I'll keep this open if anybody wants to hang around.
Hey, Ed,
Yeah.